Good morning, I'm Roland Walker from First Advance, and this morning we are going to chat about bridging loans. So what a bridging loan typically is a situation that's going to move you from one point to another where there's a gap, okay? And on financial terms, that would mean you have some kind of financial conclusion, some kind of situation where money is coming in, but there is a gap between when the money should come in and when the money actually does come in. And between that gap, you need to fill because for some reason you need the cash. So there's a future event that you know is happening, and you need to get some kind of gap to make sure that that cash actually comes to you quicker than it would. Now, the time value of money is really what it's all about. Is how badly do you need that money? Can you wait, or do you need it now? And if there is a gap there, that would be when you would use something like bridge finance or a bridge loan. Now, we do bridge loans on properties and on assets, and effectively we would look at what your asset is. If it's a property, we would check the values, we would see what you paid for it, and we would also assess whether you have the means to be able to pay us on a monthly basis that loan amount, that fee, we like to call it, or that interest payment that has to happen every month. And when we are clear on that, we would then like to know what the outcome is. So effectively, what is going to happen that will allow you in that future period to pay us and settle your loan. So normally that is when your property is being sold, and there's a certain period where you know it's being sold, the conveyancer has the documents, but it can still take 2 or 3 months before the conveyancer closes his file and the payment is actually transferred to you from the conveyancing attorneys. Now, how we would work that is we have our attorneys, and our attorneys would get hold of your attorneys, and they would come to an agreement between the attorneys. And generally, attorneys are people that we can trust. You certainly can trust ours, and they would then do an agreement. We would still do our loan agreement, but they would have an agreement between the two of them that as soon as you got paid, they would use a certain portion of that money on the house to refund us and to repay us the loan. And based on that guarantee, we would then look at doing a loan with you. Now, typically the cost of that, obviously it's short term, obviously there is risk involved. We would be looking at between 5 and 10% per month. So it's not a bank loan, it's not a bond at 11, 12%, 13%. It's expensive. But the reason why we are able to do it so quickly is because we are prepared to take the risk. And that is how we operate. And high risk, high interest, that is just synonymous with business practice. So that's what a bridging loan typically is. If you have a vehicle or something like that, then it would really be called a pawn deal, because we would be taking that asset, we would be keeping that asset until a future event when you can settle the loan. And sometimes we don't necessarily need to know that you can afford to pay us those monthly payments, which are obviously important to us. We're a small business, cash flow is important. But if we know that there is an event that will happen where you will be paid out a lump sum, and with that lump sum you will settle us, then we would look at the risk of doing that and probably still be able to help you. So that in a nutshell is the bridging loan. If you have any other questions, you can get hold of us on our website. We have a WhatsApp. We deal in WhatsApp. We don't really deal in email anymore. It's just so much easier to track and to receive messages and to send messages and to make sure you have a history of everything with WhatsApp. So if you have any queries on things, on bridging loan or any other loans, please get hold of us through our website. Thanks very much. Cheers.